You unlock this door with the key of imagination.
You're traveling through another dimension.
A dimension of sound, a dimension of mind.
A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man.
Shadow and substance.
Welcome to Shadow and Substance from deep in the heart of Texas. It's a Twilight Zone podcast. This is episode 4 of the unofficial Twilight Zone podcast, Shadow and Substance.
Unofficial until CBS Interactive, who keeps liking all of our Instagram photos days later and returning again and then liking more photos. CBS, if you like us so much, just, promote us. You
can pay us if you
want. You can pay us. We'd enjoy payment or...
provide us with gear.
Yeah, even gear. You know what? You want to throw us a few things you got laying around the office? Dude, we will promote the shit out of CBS. Now... all access
podcast too.
That's true.
Yeah, we will do everything under the sun, under your umbrella. CBS, hire us now.
Have you seen Shaniqua Martin Green? She's amazing.
No, I love Discovery. Discovery is one of the best shows on television. If you guys haven't watched a Star Trek Discovery, just take the plunge.
I'll be doing it soon. I've been really trying to get through all Next Generation. Yeah. I've got a season and a half to go, and I'm really just waiting to try to get through it because I don't want to end it yet.
You know what CBS access?
I still got movies though.
All access show that I like, The Neighborhood, starring Cedric Yarbrough, or Cedric the Entertainer, and
Cedric the Entertainer's in a new show.
Yeah, I know 2 CBS All Access shows: The Twilight Zone and Discovery.
What? You know more than that. You know more than that.
That's all I watch.
You don't watch Speechless?
Nah, I don't. I want to watch.
You don't watch 2.5 Men?
No, I want to watch Discovery. I want to watch
Twilight Zone. We could all have Tiger's Blood or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love Tiger's Blood.
We're gonna have
some Greg Kinnear.
Kettle Fear.
We're gonna have the Captain Picard show. We're gonna have a Section 31 show.
Ooh, I want to be a part of Section 31.
And
I'm Tyler.
And CBS, if you're listening, we need a Captain Pike show.
I second that. Anson Mount.
We need a Captain Pike. Pike's Enterprise. I don't care what you call it. Pike's Enterprise. The
Pike. Just call it Pike.
Enterprise. I don't care what you call it.
Call it Head on Pike.
Yeah, you call it whatever you want to. You need that. Anson Mount is amazing. He's probably the coolest captain in the history of Star Trek. And all the toxic.
Oh wow, that's huge, man.
That is, dude. It's
better than a Picard. Ooh.
He is equal.
He's dynamic.
He is equal to Picard, if not somewhat more relatable than Picard. Picard was a multi. He was like an onion, as Shrek would say.
He had layers.
He had layers. And I think Anson Mount as Captain Pike also has some layers, and I think that they just need to be peeled away in more than one season of a television show. He deserves to have a long-running Star Trek television show.
And not to continue to distract, but because you threw out the Shrek reference, and I'm guessing that's also because you have a daughter who probably watched Shrek, and I also have a daughter who recently has been into Hotel Transylvania. I will say there is a hilarious line in Hotel Transylvania.
We've talked about 3 other shows.
I understand this.
I
understand this, but something I had never seen because I never watched Hotel Transylvania until I was forced to do so.
Adam Sandler.
This child or this young kid that he has playing Frankenstein, or he pretends is like a Frankenstein monster because he's human. He doesn't want anyone to know. He gets roasted. He starts getting roasted over a fryer by one of these other monsters, and the Dracula Adam Sandler character saves him, and he was like, wow man, he was trying to eat me. That's only the second time in my life that's ever happened. The first time was at a Slipknot concert. And I laughed so hard, and my daughter looked at me like I was crazy.
Shrek is love.
Shrek is life.
Yeah.
So CBS All Access.
CBS
Interactive. Star Trek Discovery is one of the best shows on television.
The Neighborhood for me.
CBS, we love you.
I love.
At least get us a keg of beer because we got a kegerator in here, and we could totally have beer on tap for a couple $100 podcast.
So Stephen Ewan, can we talk about Stephen Ewan?
Stephen Ewan.
Stephen Yeun?
Did I
Stephen
say it
Yeun.
wrong?
I think it's Yoon.
Yeung.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ewan.
Young.
Oh,
I think it's all one thing.
Ewan.
He's correct.
Yeah, but go ahead and continue.
Man, don't hate on
What
me.
about him?
He is amazing. Can I say?
Yeah, he's a great
He
actor.
needs to keep adventuring outside and keep doing weird shit. Like,
Have you guys seen Mayhem?
Yeah, that's
I was
what
about
gonna
to-
say.
yeah,
His
I was about to
other
bring that
guy
up,
is-
too.
It's so good.
I
It's
had
so-
side watched that
Yeah,
because
it's
you
so-
had me watch
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
That was
it's
excellent. Excellent movie.
It's so good. Like,
Love that movie.
He needs to keep exploring. I would really advise him, as somebody who likes watching him, keep going weird. Lean into weird and don't like fully embrace it and
Stephen
do it
Yeun.
weird.
Cy likes to watch you doing weird things.
I do. I'm sorry.
And I'm totally fine with also watching it as well. So
Right.
you just keep doing it. You know. Hey, we've also got Cy and I are also part of OBF Productions, which
Yeah, dude, I
Chris
gotta
is starring in a film with OBF Productions. He is now part of OBF.
Dude, if you want to be, if
You
wanna
could totally
be a
come
mass
be
murderer-
in this movie or
If you want to
in
be
a
a
new
mass
movie we
murderer,
do.
Ewan, you come talk to me. Yoon, I'm sorry. You can hit the shit out of me. Apologize. I'm not fucking. I'm retarded. But I got a
That's
movie.
the R word, man.
Oh yeah, you can't use that. I am handy capable.
I mean, at this point, you're just digging a hole.
Okay, I am not a smart person, but I swear to you, I can shoot the shit out of shit. And dude, you want to be a mass murderer? I got a fucking film for you, man. Like, fucking hit the shit up out of me. We can go John Lithgow style. Fucking weird. It's gonna get real weird in here. So
You're gonna
back-
make weird
so-
shot.
Yeah, let's get back to Greg Kinnear. So I'm gonna let you
Kettle
give
Fear.
the highlight, because I like when you give a highlight. I like the highlight cap.
You want to start the breakdown?
Yeah, I like the breakdown.
All right.
Call it the breakdown.
All right. So we open. We had a cold open here, and it's clearly Christmas time.
Got the
And,
big, nice, beautiful Aurora Borealis in the beginning.
Yeah, we get a nice CGI'd Aurora Borealis.
Heavily CGI.
Iglac, Alaska, and we get our two I guess main protagonists here, Yuka and Jack, who are brother and sister. Yuka is the sheriff's deputy, and she has arrested her brother for
Public
quotation disorderly conduct. I
But
believe.
clearly, she arrested him so that the captain would have someone to
Someone to
pardon.
pardon. And
Because she's also trying to get in favor of the captain, because clearly she just wants to be something more than she currently is.
Yeah. And they're driving, and there's some great dialogue here. I didn't write down every bit of dialogue that they have here, but there's some fucking great dialogue between the two of them. Fuck Christmas.
Yeah,
and,
fuck Christmas.
And
he
it's-
went straight with fuck you.
I did. I don't know why I went worse.
this
That's,
is where,
that's real bad.
this is where we get our first little bit of Twilight Zone-y social commentary here with the, these two people are Inuit. And they clearly have no real connection to Christmas or anything else. They have their own set of beliefs, and I like it's a cultural thing, and I like the way Jack says like what am I supposed to believe that like three wise guys followed a star? And he's like, come on, tell me that. Can you really tell me that's cooler than our ancestors watching over us from the Aurora Borealis? Come on. And I thought that was really cool. That was a really cool way to kind of like highlight the fact that not everybody
Believes in Christmas.
believes in the same
Yeah.
thing, and we don't all have to believe in the same thing. But that's going to come into play in a few minutes in the episode, so we'll get back to that later. But that was just a really cool little thing that they did there. Jack is talking about pie. He wants some pie. This dude wants some pie.
He wants pie more than anything else, and he's going to constantly talk
Yeah,
about this pie.
we're going to hear about pie many times in this episode. He really wants some pie. They get to the police station.
And then you see the star.
You see the star. Yeah, you see the star. What is that? They're talking about it. Well,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
way
star in
too bright to be
sky.
the North Star.
I gotta say that at this point, the show goes ahead and lets us know without unequivocally that we're dealing with aliens in this show.
Yeah,
Right.
It's
I mean,
immediately
there's no-
off the bat. It's like, okay, we got aliens.
Yeah, I've seen some comments on social media where people I don't think understood
Well, the
from the onset that this was going to be an alien episode.
Well, the UFO moves. Like, I think he makes a point. He's like, hey, it's moving too fast or something. He literally draws attention to it, and then he comes up and he's like, or they linger on the
he
shot.
says it's way too big to be the North Star, and then they walk in, and as soon as they walk in, they linger on it for a second, you see it move.
It moves.
And then it enters into the scene, yeah.
So, yeah, and Yuka takes Jack down to the holding cells, and Jack reiterates again that he, wants some pie. This is what Jack wants more than anything else. I think he would rather have
pie is
than
love,
be
pie is life.
Yeah. Doesn't he say, "Where's my fucking where's my pie?" At one point?
I expect some pie.
Yeah,
or something to that effect. He really wants some pie.
And she's just like, you're gonna get turkey, and he's like, well, is there gonna be pie? Like, like in the car right there.
Constant need for pie. Then we go back upstairs and we find out that Captain Pendleton is a complete douchebag.
total.
This guy talks about himself, and he talks about Jesus, and then he talks about himself and Jesus.
Yeah,
and,
that rant seemed really long.
And about how he ultimately compares himself to Jesus multiple times. He's like, oh, well, I am going to pardon a stranger. I am going to do this thing. He makes it all about himself, which I think we got that idea when Jack and Hugo were having that conversation in the car before they got there. That Captain Pendleton
didn't
was
he say why are you even how can you work for that piece of or that?
Yeah, he says something. So
something along the lines of like along the lines.
They go ahead and he never mentions. Now he mentions like how his when my ancestors came here and we made this place great or something to that effect. He says something super shitty where it's just like, no, you didn't, man. This place was fine before you got here. In fact,
Air
it was
Force
probably
base.
a lot better off before you got here. Yeah. And this also speaks to something that's been ongoing over the last few years with the pipelines in Alaska and the Inuit population out there, who have been railing against the oil companies. And it doesn't speak directly to it, but I think there's a little nod to that
correlation.
Yeah. So we go. He talks about the Air Force base out there and how they're stealing power. And then he talks about be kind to strangers, and he tells you to go get me a stranger to pardon. Go get the stranger, which he already knows.
He's brother. Like, and he even like mentions that too. He's like, but we all know Jack.
So she goes down to grab Jack out of the holding cell and finds Jack asleep, like sound asleep.
Oh wait, real quick. It's an upside down shot this time of the keypad as she goes to walk in, and the number that she punches in, 1015.
Okay, so the 1015 comes back into play in this episode.
And then you see it again later on as the captain goes to walk in, Captain Pendleton.
I don't know why they're doing this 1015 thing, and I don't. Maybe I need to go back to old Twilight Zones, but I've seen every episode of the Twilight Zone so many times, and I don't recall this being a thing. I don't know if it's something new that they're trying to incorporate into the Twilight Zone. I don't really understand why they need to have it in every episode. I know, like,
if they were cool, they would actually make it like they would release the episodes at 10:15 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
It's not enough. Like they keep it in there, but it's not. It's like catfish. Like it's okay meat, but it's not fucking sustaining meat.
Fucking catfish is great. Dude.
No, I didn't say. Hey, 10:15 is great.
Where are you from?
I'm Louisiana.
Cajun?
Yeah, I'm Cajun.
Yeah,
Cajun down south.
You're a Cheshire, so yeah.
Cheshire, man. There's only like
you're
10,000
Louisiana
of us.
Cheshire.
You said catfish.
But if I offered you catfish versus prime rib, fucking.
I would say give me both because that's surf and turf.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And what day of the week is it? Because there are days when I just want fucking fried catfish, blackened catfish.
God. Yeah, that blackened catfish is good.
So she goes down and she finds Jack asleep in the cell. She opens it up, kind of walks towards him, and then realizes there's somebody else in the jail cell.
Okay, no, and then getting
Yeah, and Jack's sound asleep, so clearly he can't be the first one to be pardoned. So that immediately rules him out.
and hold on, can I just say?
And why is Jack asleep all of a sudden?
And
Because he was tired. He was drunk.
Sure.
He was drunk.
Okay.
I
I was like, was it the traveler that put him to sleep?
No, he was drunk, and she could easily wake him up and pardon him, but here's
But yeah,
what
there's too much interest in this traveler.
yeah, and so she finds the traveler in the hole, and we don't get any information about him other than she walks up and he says, "I would like to be pardoned." And then we cut to Jordan Peele and his intro.
The best
Yeah.
intro. The best
Yeah,
intro
this
one
was
so
a
far.
really
The
good
best one.
intro
Can you
because
please-
this is in the middle of this scene,
you.
and then it pulls straight into him. It's just a camera turn into him.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
even said this, Morgan, my wife, for anyone who doesn't have a reference, I said this to Morgan. As soon as that happened, I paused and I was like, wow. That was a cool fucking
I
intro.
saw that for the first time this morning, and I was like, that was the best entrance I've fucking seen.
Yes,
Hands
yes.
down. The best one. You need to fucking do that. Talk to the
And he's
camera.
got the little present in his
Yeah,
hands
just-
and everything.
just
So he's
talk
got
to
the
the
present
goddamn
that
camera.
is alluded to
Like,
later.
it bothers the shit out of me, man. But anyway, sorry, go on. I'm sorry. Like, it fucking annoys the shit out of me that he did it right the first time, fucked up the next 2 times, and it's now taking him right to get it the next one. The diner one wasn't bad. It was just... You're fucking talking to a newspaper. Rod Serling, make eye contact. Maybe it's just me during sex. I like eye
those
contact.
gritted teeth
Yeah,
Ron
makes
Serling
goddamn
episodes
eye
where he's
contact.
just talking through his teeth.
Yeah, so...
Like there was something creepy about that.
it's
yeah,
not,
I don't know that.
I don't
not
think he's
important.
gonna. He's not
It's
gonna
not
bring the
important.
same
Look,
the same feel that Rod
yeah,
Serling
I'm
brought,
picking,
and he's not trying
hairs
to.
here. Like, I'm sorry, Jordan Peele. I'm just gonna be honest, but I'm not. I know I'm picking hairs, but that was the best
Might even be
entrance.
splitting.
A splitting hair.
Yeah, splitting is what you're looking for.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know. the
yeah,
euphemism.
we're gonna
What's the
move.
colloquial? I don't know the colloquial.
Yeah,
term.
we're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
we're gonna move forward. It's a good entrance, and moving on.
Pendleton goes down to check on Yuka, and he's kind of shocked to see that there's.
I know. I feel she walks back up and talks to him about it. And is like, hey, you know why is this guy down here?
No, he goes down. He just goes
Does he?
down there. He's like, what's taking her so long? He
Oh,
says something, and then he walks down there, and he's like, Yuka, and then she's like, Captain, there's somebody there, there's somebody in the cell, and he walks over to
A traveler.
he walks over to the cell.
Oh, and just not to cut you off, but just prior to this, the first interaction she has with him, he also says after he says I would like to be pardoned, he then follows it up with just like you all want to be pardoned.
He said he does say that, just like you would like to be.
Yeah.
So alluding to Yuka, Yuka wants.
She wants to be in charge, I think.
I think there's more to it than that.
Yeah, I think there's something deeper there.
Yeah, I think there's a deeper, but
And he's got his little horn shoes too.
yeah, we have
You got a quick close up of his shoes. You
Yeah,
see
he's
that
got
little
some
horn.
really fancy shoes.
It's got a horn at the tip, which is something you don't ever see in shoes.
No, there's everything. It needs to be said that everything this guy says is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like he just constantly spews bullshit out of his mouth. Like
To try to like envelop people into whatever he's doing.
He plays to everyone's weakness, whatever their weakness is, and however that weakness can benefit him at the time. That's what he's gonna say, and it's made clear immediately when he starts to talk to Pendleton that he's like, oh, we know about. Everybody knows about Captain Pendleton, and everybody knows about
The Christmas
the
time
Christmas,
party.
Christmas pardon,
and
yeah.
the pardoning, and I'm just here to be pardoned. I'm just like that's why I'm here. He also mentions there's no workshop at the North Pole, just snow. He had just flown over it.
Yeah.
That's-
Another nod to being an alien. But you know, and two, right there, they allude on you tell because he fucks up right there in the instance when he's talking to Greg Kinnear at the time. He fucks up. You remember because she asked him about his phone and she's like, it's Russian made, and then he flips out. He's like, Russian, and then he looks.
Yeah,
at
the
it.
Russians don't make shit; they steal it.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that clear phone, that really weird clear phone.
Yeah, but they start looking at it, and then she's like, this is where she's like, fucking You said it yourself, sir. They don't make shit. They steal shit. Look at this highly advanced fucking phone. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
look at the size of those cell keys.
Yeah, hold on. Who the fuck? Okay, I've
That's
been
like
in jail.
cartoony cell keys.
Yeah, I've been in jail. I can't even fucking tell you in my lifetime I've ever seen a jail fucking use a key. They are all automatic fucking.
I've seen it.
You've seen a key,
Oh,
Joe?
yeah.
Really?
Are they the
Are they
giant,
the
like,
giant,
cartoony keys?
Really? They use those? Those are real? Get the fuck out of here.
The one, so I was in a jail in a tiny little town in East Texas, and
in Texas.
in East Texas, it's like a tiny town, but they had the big comic.
Get the fuck out
yeah,
of here. For
key
real?
ring with the skeleton keys
Oh, I'd be
on
thinking
it.
about how to break out of there
And-
immediately.
Yeah, like, how can I get these keys?
Yeah, like I can fucking
So
break
it was
this
a
shit.
it was a two-pronged system. So they had to put a key into.
Oh,
this,
and somebody else had to.
No, you had to put a key into this, like, there was like a panel on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, this was old school too. This wasn't like, don't, like, the way I'm saying it makes it sound almost techie, but it was like very primitive. Like, there was like a keyhole next to the wall, and they would put a key in there and they turn it, and then they could open this panel up, and inside that was the key that would unlock the cell. So they
so you
then they put
unlocked it
another
to
skeleton
set-
key in there, and they turn that, and then that would unlock the cell.
So it was a two.
Oh,
it was
so
like
you
a
would have to
two-step
have the original key and
Yeah,
actually be able to
yeah.
You
get
had
to
to
the
have two
panel.
keys to get into the cell.
Yeah, you
two-step
first had to get to the
verification.
panel before you could get the key to open the
But
cell.
it was still very, like, it was archaic as shit. Like, it was
two-step
it was
verification, man.
probably from like the 60s or 70s. This jail was old as shit.
Well, you just fucking blew my mind, Chris, because I thought that I was.
Yeah, because
and
I saw that and I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, bullshit. Well, because I like that they did the shot, too, of Jack trying to reach for the jail, the keys.
Yeah,
'Cause that
it was just like
yeah,
reached
that was
over
my
immediately
fucking
and it was like,
immediate thought. I
ugh.
was like, my first immediate thought
Who
would-
wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like, who wouldn't fucking reach for the keys? I
Yeah,
like
even if
that.
he's gonna get pardoned, like, hey, if I can just grab this shit, unlock it, and go out there and be like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? I mean, really?
You're gonna pardon me anyway.
Yeah, you're still gonna pardon me anyways. Fuck it. So he explains that he's an extreme traveler. He has a YouTube channel called and I like, did I miss the Agro Traveler's Bucket List? I believe is what he
That sounds
said.
right.
And then he starts to play into Pendleton's ego. with that.
Yeah, then he pulls out his ID and he's like, I even got my name changed to A
Yeah,
Traveler.
I got my name changed to A Traveler, and like, this is funny, right? And like, he actually has this on his license.
California license plate. Or California license.
And that's also the point where he pulls out his weird alien phone that no one seems to bat an eye at, even though like it's clearly tech that does not exist on
Yeah,
Earth.
I don't have a clear phone. I don't
No,
know
no
anyone
one
that
does.
does. Yeah, I don't,
And let's also mention that every time we see the Traveler at this point, lights are gonna flicker every time that
Yeah.
like anything he does happens.
Now they try to leave that ambiguous.
They do
with
by
with
saying,
power
like, yeah, the power
company and
grid.
the power grid
Being
and
shared
Air
with
Force.
the base, yeah.
Yeah, but I felt like there are instances where you actually like see
Like him like kissing on the hand and then lights flicker.
Yeah, he does. Like, he'll make certain movements and the lights will flicker, which I thought was just a cue to like, this guy's doing this.
yeah,
you
the
know?
blink
He's-
one was a very good nod.
Yeah.
He's making that happen. And then they let him out. They go ahead and
They're like,
let
all
him
right,
out.
yeah, we're part of this guy.
Yeah, and they take him. They take him. out to
Really,
the
it's
party.
Pendleton that's like, I'm parting this guy because he's like catering to my ego like a mofo.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. Pendleton loves this guy because he's just sucking him off.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of person that like you can easily play their ego. I know people like this. You just tell them they're awesome and they're like, oh yeah, I know I'm awesome.
Thank you.
Well, do whatever you want.
You want $1
So
million? Yeah.
so they let him out. They bring him up to the party. He starts making videos. Yuka's running his license. She calls him motels. She tries to verify if this guy even exists at all.
Yeah, she's immediately skeptical, which she should be.
Yeah, she's super skeptical. Which, I mean, who wouldn't be? Like, I don't
Like,
understand. why
anyone
he,
should
like,
be.
Yeah, this guy just appeared in a jail cell.
Which is also a good line. You both just confirmed it. Who wouldn't be? Everyone should be. I like those keywords.
But then
you guys just
they
used.
bring it up
But no,
right
but hold on,
afterwards
just
in the
remember
party.
Those keywords. Remember those keywords when we get to the end of this episode. Remember those keywords. That's all. I'm
Sure,
gonna
but
say.
then they try to smooth over it, if you will, at the very next scene where he's brought back into the room with everyone else, and they say, and he's even said a few minutes later, like, yeah, we thought those keys that were lost in the cell would never be found, but it looks like that he found them.
Yeah, they try.
They're like, yeah, he somehow got in there, he opened the lock, and he put himself in the cell. Yeah, we get it.
They throw some more ambiguity into it just to see, like, and I think that so from a storytelling perspective, I think that they jumped the gun on that. I don't think that works at this point. It doesn't. It's not effective.
You're making me suspend a lot of disbelief.
Yeah, we already know that this guy is an alien, right?
From like the first 5 shots.
They show an alien, a little alien bobblehead with the Santa Claus hat. We see
even prior to that, as soon as I saw that star, I looked to Morgan and I said, "Whoa, we got an alien episode on our hands."
And by the way, anybody out there that wants to correct me if I'm wrong, this is a retelling of Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up. 100%.
Yes,
that is what this is.
As soon as you said that, I was like, "Yep."
It's a retelling of that episode. It's told in a different way, and I'm going to get to why the episode pissed me off in the end. We'll get to that, but other than that, I thought it was a good retelling up to a point, and we'll get to that later. But he asks Yuka if she wants to open the present that he got for her, and it's the thing that she always wanted. And she doesn't want to have anything to do with this guy. So she takes Jack some food, and he's like, "Where's my fucking pie?"
I love that he asked for the pie.
I think it's as she's preparing the food, you see a sign that says "Toy Drive." Right next to that, to the left of it, is a gold star, like Christmas star, but it's upside down. Just a fun little Easter egg. Why is the star upside down? I don't know. It's pentagram style.
I'm curious about the toy drive. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, because you know exactly what I was thinking about, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, the toy drive one. That's another nod to another episode.
Sure. Yeah. While she's preparing the food, right there on the wall is a big sign that says Toy Drive. To the left of it is an upside down gold tinsel star.
I don't know about the star, but I think
it's a gold tinsel star and it's upside down.
Well, no, I'm not arguing that it is.
No,
it's probably North Star from the airplane episode.
Sure, but it's upside down, which is kind of like a little like ambiguity to like this isn't a normal thing going on. You got an upside down star. I was like something's up.
Nigga, you reading some tea leaves.
I'm a little super. You're like, I'm looking for Easter eggs, but that wasn't a normal star. Why did they put a Christmas star upside down? That's just weird.
Look, man,
just saying next to a toy drive sign.
But
as she's preparing his food.
But that's an episode of Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the toy drive
Twilight
is
Zone.
Sure, yeah.
What is it? 8
that's why I brought it up.
In search of an exit, or how many characters?
Something in
some amount of characters in search of an exit.
Yeah, but
I've got it written right down here.
That's a good episode.
Upside down star next to toy drive.
But the toy drive sign is
after calling
from that episode where
it's after she called the other department for warrants while getting food. I caught every one I could.
I didn't dig as much for you. I saw Taki Tina. I saw we saw the Gremlin.
The Goblin.
Why did you add the Gremlin back in? I don't understand.
It's just a little extra Easter egg.
Yeah, it's just a running theme. I think they're probably gonna.
Rod Serling was above that.
And then we show.
Go ahead and take that shot, Jordan Peele. Go ahead and feel that in your nuts.
Yeah,
Rod Serling was above that.
Hey.
He didn't have anything to Easter egg.
He didn't need fucking Easter eggs.
Yeah, we have so many things to Easter egg at this point.
Easter eggs. Yeah, I said it. Jordan Peele, you can hire me. You can call me anytime. Instagram me all the time.
Right before he goes, as she's going down to hand off the food to Jack that she had just prepared, right as it's panning up to the karaoke on the TV. As it's panning up, you go over VHS tapes, and over these VHS tapes, we see A Christmas Carol. We see 2 different Christmas Carol VHS tapes. We see the Santa Claus. We see A Christmas Story. A school Christmas concert is one that's just it says school Christmas concert. Miracle on 34th Street, and then you see Home Alone. But if you look real close and you pause it, like I did, right next to the big bold Home Alone, to the left of Home, you see A Girl Walks, and at the end of Alone, you see At Night. So A Girl Walks, Home Alone, At Night.
Which is really weird. Maybe that was just a movie that somebody that made this, like whether it's Jordan Peele or the director.
Yeah,
really
some of
likes.
them they loved, but they threw Home Alone in there as like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie, but just if you pause it, a little added caveat, you see the little letters that say a girl walks home alone at night.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure. I don't know what that
Well,
has
that's a
nothing
movie.
to do with this.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
vampire.
It's a vampire movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great black and white film.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what they. Maybe I need to go rewatch A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Maybe there's something that somehow
That
like,
correlates, yeah.
somewhere. I don't know. Or maybe it was just a neat little Easter egg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
just
Yeah. Maybe
saw
you
it.
liked the film.
Saw it, thought I'd bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that actually is cool. I didn't notice that at all.
Now give me some of that karaoke, Ewan.
When you're sitting
Are
there
you-
watching this, pausing it while drinking a little bit of whiskey, this is nice.
Give me that karaoke, Ewan.
Where?
Oh, so
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he doesn't
he's-
get any pie. She takes the food down.
And he's like, "Where's my pie?"
Jack's pissed because he doesn't get any pie again. A traveler is singing a Christmas karaoke back at the party, which is like, okay, this is a fucking weird ass Christmas song that's.
No, that's not a fucking
I-
Christmas song.
I don't know what this is. I think it was written for the show. If anybody that can correct me, please, if there's anyone out there in podcast land that can tell me that this is actually a real Christmas song. I have never fucking heard this song before.
Yeah, you got to show me a
Yeah.
group of
Everybody
like 30
now.
people.
Like somebody,
Everybody now.
somebody's
Like,
got to know that this is a Christmas song. I grew up in America.
Never heard that.
Yeah, and like the South too, so you
Yeah.
should know all Christmas songs.
Yeah, I'm a white dude in America. I've heard like so many Christmas songs growing up. I've never heard this one. This was just, but it was so catchy and like
It
I
was,
It
like,
seemed
if-
like a real thing.
yeah. If this were an actual Christmas song, I would have heard it before because this would be a popular Christmas. It would be like
Yeah.
Singing.
Like Christmas shoes or something.
Yeah, just like
Little drummer boy. Some
Yeah,
shit.
something.
any of that. So, but anyways, that's beside the point. It bothered me that I didn't know what this fucking song
Yeah, but
was.
during this part, power shuts out, and
Mm-hmm.
then everyone starts arguing,
yeah.
and then he pushes it further.
Yeah, people immediately start to argue when the power goes out, and then the lights come back on, and then a traveler says, "Don't pardon Jack because he stole snow machine tools, and they'll find him in the trunk of Jack's car."
Shit
And he
gets
starts
serious.
calling everybody out. He starts to antagonize everybody in the room. He knows like their dirty little secrets, and he starts
Airing it
laying
out.
Well, and two, yeah, like I like immediately, like the tone gets real serious. Like it went from a light,
it
yeah,
does,
it goes from
yeah.
a light like Christmas party to where people are like now, like even the
At each
couple-
other's throat.
Yeah, the couple who was like, "Oh, you were getting the money. You sent the lowest bid in. Yeah, so what? I sent the lowest bid in. Like, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
just-
well, they start to literally fight.
Yeah,
like,
it gets-
like you know about going down on people, and they say, like, there's actual
Fits
literal
one.
choking that happens. Pendleton eventually just tells everybody go the fuck home. You guys are, just go home. Take your drunk asses home. And so they go back to Pendleton's office, and Yuka and Pendleton are questioning a traveler.
Yeah, now he's finally like get some dirt on her.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dig up what you can.
Then he starts to change his whole story. I'm Special Agent Douglas Hayes.
Didn't he say call the bureau? They'll be able to verify
Yeah,
my story.
he says
Yeah.
all kinds of shit, and they're like, yeah, I don't.
And she even like had called the bureau, and they were like, "Yeah, we have no one under that name that works for us."
Yeah, and they also he's like, well, do you have IDs? Like, yeah, undercover special agents don't carry ID. So they rearrest him, take him back down into the holding cell. And this is when
Yeah,
the
and
traveler,
at this point, everyone's gone.
yeah, everybody's gone home, and a traveler kind of like as
And then you see, just not to throw everything off, as soon as everyone goes home, red lights. And then all of a sudden he's illuminated in red.
yeah. Things get darker at this point. Like things get weird.
Give me this. Give me.
Are you a Russian spy? Man in black?
Yeah,
Yeah, Man
he's-
in Black,
He
yeah.
starts asking him like, "Yeah, are you Man in Black?" All this kind of stuff.
And then he says, "I'm Special Agent Douglas Hayes, who was one of the original Twilight Zone directors."
Yeah, they do drop some names here and there, and they did that also in the comedian episode with Homeboy's phone.
Yeah, you told
All
me about
the
that.
names on his phone were other Twilight Zone characters and producers and writing all kinds of shit, like all those names. And as Pendleton's actually unlocking Jack's cell and saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna pardon you," blah blah, and he's like, "Hey, I was promised a piece of pie. Where's the goddamn pie?"
I don't want this pie.
He's back on the pie kick. This guy,
I'm not gonna get my goddamn pie.
He just wants some fucking pie, man.
That's all he wants.
This guy some pie. At this point, like a traveler actually says to Yuko while Pendleton's unlocking Jack's cell, he says, once I remove Pendleton, you'll be in charge, or something to that effect, which plays to her weaknesses. Which he knows that he knows she doesn't like this guy. She thinks he's a douchebag.
She can be manipulated.
Yeah, and this is the way to manipulate her, is to tell her like this is a bad guy, and I want to get him out of here. Yeah. And so that plays to her kind of opinion
Weakness.
and her weakness towards him. This is when, according to the show,
You seem so disappointed already.
I just feel like, okay, here's the thing. If you wanted to leave this guy's actual identity as an alien species ambiguous, leave it ambiguous. Don't play your hand at the beginning. I
see antenna.
Yeah.
And he was like,
sudden,
"Did you see that?" And Jack's like, "Yeah, you look like a fucking snail."
Yeah, no, I get that they can do a thing where the audience maybe is in on it, but the characters in the story aren't in on it. And
because if they weren't alerted to his antennas, then we would have known. They wouldn't.
Sure, I can understand all that. That's all fine.
But also, just real quick, Yuka doesn't acknowledge it. Like, she doesn't want to acknowledge it, maybe?
Right. She doesn't say a word about it. And I wonder, like, I just wonder if...
Maybe the whole time she's like, maybe this is my out?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I feel like the writers were, at this point, trying to say, like, oh, this is when you're supposed to realize he's an alien. No, dude, I realized that.
Like, scene 1, when you gave it away. When
Yeah,
there was, like, a star that moved.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they did that, like, to Chris's point, they did most of the we knew he was an alien because they revealed it to the audience with the doll, with the star moving. It's third person limited storytelling, to where the audience knows that that he's an alien, but the characters don't. But to Chris's point, they fucked up, because at that point you could make an argument that Jack knows that he's an alien. Because he made the deal, you know what I mean? Like, he made that deal. Things are made, I'm spoiler alerting, but later on he says, maybe things will be better with you in charge, with you guys running things. So at that moment, you kind of mess up the limited third person limited story, because
Jack kind
the
of like,
characters,
yeah, whatever, yeah,
the characters
yeah, it looked like a snail.
No,
he's definitely not a normal person.
But we don't know that. You know what I mean? They withheld information from us and the story. So that's
Yeah, I just don't know what they were
I see
going
what
for
you're
here.
going with that. Yeah, that's valid, very valid.
A traveler who's tripping on cheese log. You guys are tripping on cheese log, which I thought was funny. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He starts talking about the power grid. Okay, so this is where, at this point...
And then he even comes up and he says, okay, I'm not this other guy, but I'm Agent Marius Constant, who was the guy that made the original Twilight Zone theme.
Yeah, he does. He name drops that guy. There's a lot of just like sort of word salad that this guy starts to spit out at this point, where look, man, I may be a dumbass. I don't know. I got confused at a point in this. Now, I don't like he starts talking about, oh well, this this classified. He accuses Captain Pendleton of corruption, colluding with Russia. His voice starts to change.
Yeah, he starts becoming real dark and almost distorted.
Yeah, he's just, there's a
You
little
hear that
distortion
on
in
the
his
back,
voice.
the back of everything that he says.
He says the Russians
Frieza
are on their
style.
way. They're on their way to the shed. We know about the shed now. At this point, we understand that actually we don't yet, but this is when Captain Pendleton takes off. He's like, oh, I gotta get to the shed.
Yeah, Yoon gives his diatribe here about you didn't bat an eye when I was lying. You knew the whole time that I was lying.
And as he starts walking towards her, all of a sudden the cell's open and he's right in front of her.
Yeah, he just opens the.
It's almost like a perfect transition as he's walking forward towards her. The cell opens.
Well, yeah, he's got the parlor tricks. Yeah,
and he's just right there in front of her face. It's almost like if you blink, you'll miss it.
Well,
and then she runs out of there, and he's out of the cell because he's in the cell as he starts the conversation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has his little parlor tricks, but what I really like about this scene is because it's basically he at this moment he lays his cards on the table. He basically says, "I've been lying since the beginning."
Yeah, he tells her as much. He tells her
I've been lying to everyone.
I lied through my teeth. You didn't believe a word I said, and then all of a sudden I said something that benefited you, and when I said something that benefited you, you didn't stop him from running out the door, even though you knew I was full of shit.
Yeah, you let it happen. Yeah,
you let this.
He says "Don't worry, you'll be taking his command. You'll take his job, but under our command.
Our command, yeah, is basically what he says.
So basically, she's
you're still gonna be something, but you're gonna be under us.
Yeah, she's Sarah Saunders.
Sarah Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, she's Sarah Sanders, whatever her name is.
Yeah. You're gonna make some lies for us.
Yeah, you're gonna make some lies. Just tell these flat out lies.
Yeah, do it.
And he says he's part of an invading force. And so that's about that point. That's when Yuka says,
she's like, "Oh fuck."
He says, it's too late now. He's like, "No, she says it's not too late." She runs off. She gets in the car. This is when okay. So for me,
go ahead and get it. For
me, this is where I lost the show. Lost me.
She runs off, and then she goes and does her thing. She meets up, and she finds those other people that had been arguing. She sees them at the bar, and she's like, where did Pendleton go? Oh, he went that way down the road. She goes towards him. She goes to advance towards him. She finds him, pulls the shotgun on him. Then it returns back, and that's when we get the cool little, "Hey, bro, you got these tricks, like your little magic tricks. You think you can open my cell too?" And it's like this little joke, and then all of a sudden his cell opens. So he's like, "Oh, cool."
He's like, "Oh, that's a cool trick."
Yeah,
that's a cool trick.
And he starts walking towards him, and then he says the line.
What was it? Okay.
And his line was, maybe it would be better.
Yeah, maybe things would be better if maybe
you guys were in charge.
If you guys are running things.
Yeah, you guys are running things.
And that's
And then that's when he starts growing, and you see him kind of turn into this alien, and then he immediately stops, spins around, and you see this almost haunting shot as he's like, "Oh fuck," and starts walking away, and it's like, "Oh, that's a cool shot."
"Oh fuck."
No, but I'm saying that's the look on his face.
Oh, okay.
His mouth is open, his eyes are blank. He's got this blank stare, and he turns around, and he just keeps walking forward, and then he grabs a knife. He pulls out the knife, and you're like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna try to kill this guy," and immediately it goes down into a slice of pie, and you're like, "Oh, that motherfucker's finally getting his pie."
Now that was the point where I wanted
get him.
This okay, so if this is truly a retelling of Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, this is where I wanted Jack. As soon as a traveler reveals himself as this alien species who has come there to invade and colonize Earth, that's when I wanted Jack to be like, "That's really cool, man." Because they could have played it in there. They could have played it great because Jack is a great character, and he could have been like, "Oh man, that's really cool."
He's the perfect side character for this to happen.
And he could have been like, "That's really cool, man. That was a really cool trick you did." But you know what?
I've got a few tricks. Yeah.
We already have people here, and our forces have already intercepted yours. So sorry. That. In the fucking show right there, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, or even like I was saying, as he even go as far as he gets back into the cell and he's sitting there eating pie with the alien. That's when he can reveal it. And you get like the cool shot of like the alien like open mouth like
Yeah,
oh fuck,
sure.
and then drops the fork and the fork hits the ground.
Actually, I like
and then you
And
pan
then-
over to Jordan Peele.
that was better than what I was gonna say.
And then
I
you
give you
could have had
credit for that.
Yuka on the other end chasing after Pendleton, and she could have gotten there, and he's like, wait, what
saying
the
all the
fuck are you
shit,
doing
and,
here?
and
she's
then
just
she like actually shoots him or something, and is like,
or just tells him,
Yeah.
says like, look, man, I'm sorry, but you don't have to worry about the Russians. You got to worry about us.
yeah,
And that and then
yeah,
you
that's
see,
between her and Jack.
Then you see the ships come in overhead, and they're her ships,
Yeah.
not
His
the
ships.
traveler's ships.
Yeah, because you could have done something with the ships. The ships seem very.
It
It was like,
out.
yeah, it did.
It was
I
it
fully agree.
just didn't punch you. It was just a weird ending that, and I'm gonna say this, and I said this, I told you this earlier, and I'm pretty sure I told Nick this, and I've written this on reviews even. This was part one of a 2-part episode of The Outer Limits, is what this was. That nothing was resolved, there was no like real message that was pushed home with that. I don't know what they were getting at, other than like, I mean, Jordan Peele comes on and says something to the effect of like, there's no difference between myth and mistruth, and I guess that's like, what he's trying
That's
to.
the twist.
That's like the social commentary there about, and I guess the social commentary is dealing with
too much fake news.
fake news and just the kind of way the media is able to manipulate people, and I think that in this scenario that a traveler was sort of the embodiment of the way media is able to manipulate individual people by telling them what they want to hear, and that kind of confirmation bias that people
Live in that little bubble they
that
live
little
in.
bubble people live in, and I get it. I get that. I don't want to
You could have done
discount
with-
that, but you
you
could
could
have
have
done
done-
that still, and had that neat little twist
Veil.
that just wrapped everything up, and there was no resolution here. We just see the ships fly overhead. We know they're there for an alien invasion. Part 2 of The Outer Limits. Next week on The Outer Limits, how will Jack and Yuka fight off the whatever? I don't know what the fuck, dude. I don't know what
yeah.
you're going for here.
Well,
I'm sorry, I just don't get it.
Well, my problem is I'm gonna make 2 key points. The problem, real quick, I'll make it quick. Is that I don't like that in the first 5 minutes you knew what was gonna happen. You knew he was an alien, and you said this earlier. I know exactly what happens. Is he's an alien, and you know exactly how it ends. There's an alien invasion, and there's no real difference. You know what I mean? Like there's no none of that. And 2, I asked you the question. I was like, and I asked this to anybody who's listening. Go ahead and name me instantly off the first who is the main character. Like, you know what I mean? You could make an argument for Ewan or for Yoon, the girl officer, for anyone else. I mean, their 2 major problem is who's the main character, and B, what, that's just for me personally.
This boils down to trying to throw too much shit into one.
Yeah,
it's 10
you don't-
pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, and I don't. It got to the point where I don't know, like, guys, like, writers' room. I don't know what you were going for at the end of this episode. I just don't.
You don't
And
have
I don't.
to give us.
I don't know that anyone did.
No, you don't have to give us political or what would you call that? Society comment every time.
It's social
Social
commentary,
commentary, yeah, you
but
don't have to
I
do that to us
don't
every
mind
time.
the social commentary. I think it's fine, and the social commentary about the way that media can manipulate people, and the way that
Yeah, but Black Mirror already is out there.
yeah, but I mean that's it. But this is a little different, and I'm okay with it. I just don't know where you were going. I don't know how you got here, and I don't. By the time we got to the end of this, the message had gotten so convoluted that I don't think it hit. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
it
could see
just
that.
didn't hit. And I was sitting there like, okay, what am I supposed to be thinking right now? How am I supposed to be feeling right now? I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of just ended.
Yeah, it just fizzled. It just fizzled, and I don't
And then
like.
credits rolled, and then you're like, ah.
Give me that.
Or
and
it was right after of course, the little pie thing, and then the Jordan Peele outro.
And that's how I described. Like I described, I'm talking to Jessica about this episode right after it ended. I was like, here's the thing about the Twilight Zone, and what I've always loved about the Twilight Zone is that you can have this like sort of multifaceted story with. You can even have many characters, and you can even have like you can even convolute the story a little bit. But by the time you get to that last minute, they take that little ball peen hammer and they just ding you right in the forehead, and they go, "This is what we were saying. This was the point." And this episode didn't do that. It did. I don't feel like there was a cohesive message that they were trying to convey. I don't understand. It was just a weird
Alien
episode.
invasion.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a Twilight Zone episode. It was a fucking Outer Limits episode. That's my problem with it. And I don't mean to like. I liked the episode. I thought it was beautifully shot. The acting was great.
Yeah, Greg Kinnear, man.
There were some great moments.
Kettle
in it,
Southerner.
But that last like 2 or 3 minutes, man, it just fizzled.
Well,
it really hurt my feelings.
I would have
man.
liked a
I'm
twist.
not gonna lie.
I would have liked a twist.
The twist. Just give me the
liked
twist.
a twist. I would have liked a twist.
If you're going for the Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, give me that twist. Even though, like, to pretend like, because a lot of people who are watching this have never seen the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
I
I
only started
fully
watching
agree
it.
with that because I mean you've got all these millennials and Generation
Oh, no, I'm
Y,
talking
is
about
not millennials,
bitch.
not
No, I'm talking
millennials,
about
even
millennials,
Generation
bitch.
Y or whatever the new
Let me
fucking generation
fucking
after millennials is.
PC guard you.
Because millennials are what 82 to 95 or
Bitch,
something
we're
obscure like
half
that.
of yeah, I'm a millennial. We're half of your fucking demographic.
Yeah, that's
Shout
me
out,
me
born
too
78.
included.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. I don't know why they didn't just. Because I feel like the way the guy was dressed, the way Stephen Yeun was dressed, some of the things he said, the setting, all these things led me to believe that this was just a very unique retelling of Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up. And I was waiting for that moment.
That aha
That
moment.
moment where the
Got your
short
back,
order cook
Stephen
pulls
Yeun.
his hat off
Mm-hmm.
and there's an eyeball in the middle of his forehead and it just didn't come, and I felt so
They could have done it with Jack.
Betrayed.
Though. They could have done
They
it
really
with Jack.
could have.
Well,
That's
no,
what we're
as he
saying.
walks away when he's like, I guess things would be running better with you guys in charge. He didn't even have to tell him that he was an alien. The voiceover could have
His
started
forehead
right
could have
there.
just
Yeah, he
opened
could have
up.
started. Yeah, the voiceover could have started right there. Blah blah blah. 22, and he lifts the thing and you see the eyeball. They could have,
or just whatever
so
little
many
process.
different-
I
So
think
many
the pie
different
would have been the
process.
best,
Yeah,
dude.
the
While
pie
he
one,
was
I will
eating
give you
pie
credit. I
with
do
him.
like your pie.
Yeah, while he was eating pie with him, because he eats pie with the alien, I was like, this, like when I saw it, I was like, this would be a cool time for like some shit to
If
happen.
you want to do that, have him go to eat the pie.
And as he's going to put it into his mouth, he says it and then like falls or
no,
something.
got a second mouth or a tongue?
He's got like a crazy
Yeah.
tongue that comes
Yeah.
out and goes and grabs the pie, like something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
he would have been an alien at that
And
point.
then he
yeah.
could have been like, he could have, then
I
he
agree
could
with
have,
that,
he could have
yeah.
said like, unfortunately, man, I know you were really looking forward to.
Yeah, I know you're looking
colonizing
forward to
Earth,
this,
but-
bro. Hey, bro, I know you're looking forward to
He could
this.
have ended it right there, man, just
Yeah.
with the tongue, and he didn't even have to say anything else. Like, I know you were really looking forward.
I
to
would have just
colonizing
loved
Earth, man.
that, and then the alien dropping the fork, and then just being the last
Yeah.
thing that you saw was the fork hitting the ground, and
'Cause
then
you can-
pan up to Jordan Peele doing his outro.
That's what's beautiful about the Twilight Zone is you can be silly.
Yeah.
You can be silly, guys. You don't have to be so fucking serious all the time. You can be silly with this shit.
They had sex robots in the Twilight Zone.
Dude, they
in
had the
original.
weirdest shit on the Twilight Zone. They had so many weird episodes that were
They had a
goofy,
rape. They had
Get
a
sillier.
fun,
pedophile.
and you can just have a little fun with it, guys. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time. It doesn't have to. You don't have
A grandma
to.
tried to kill her kid.
Yeah,
in
there-
the
there-
original.
There
Her
was
grandchild.
There was some weird shit in the Twilight, in the original Twilight Zone. In the '80s Twilight Zone was a lot of fun too. There was
Wes
a lot
Craven,
of,
dog.
There was a lot of goofy, lighthearted moments, and you can have those goofy, lighthearted moments even in a very serious episode, even deep into social commentary. You can have those lighthearted moments. You can make the audience not feel like they're suffocating.
Yeah, like they're
By
being
message.
forced to like push through.
Yeah, I don't like.
Like they're waiting for this big aha moment that they never get.
Yeah, and this give me a goofy little twist at the end there, and let it, like, it doesn't matter that it's not like groundbreaking. It's okay that it's like a nod to the old series, but you can make it a little different, make it a little fun. Have some fun with it. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time. That's all I have to say about that. I don't want to.
Jordan Peele, have some fun. That's what we're gonna say.
Have some
That's
fun.
Our ending
Enjoy
notes.
yourself.
Jordan Peele, get back to having fun.
But it's not, remember, this isn't all Jordan Peele. It's just Monkeypaw
Bitch, that
Productions that's
motherfucker
putting it
has
out.
so
He's
much
the
developed
narrator,
by-
but
bitch, I watched
and
your
yeah,
other
sure,
show,
he
The
may
Last
have a
OG,
little bit
by
of
the way,
a creative control,
Jordan
but
Peele.
it's
Nigga, call
not
me.
100%.
Nigga, call me. That's all I'm gonna say.
He could say a few things, but really, I think he's leaving it up to most of these guys to do the writing and the directing.
Don't you
and
fucking
he's
lie
just
to
gonna
me.
narrate.
I heard your
and
story
do his
about what
producing.
you did on Key and Peele, bitch. I know you hand wrote those skits, so nigga, you can lie to fucking other people, nigga. You ain't lying to me, nigga. I see that shit. Just saying.
That's fine.
Jay Bird out, baby.
Jay Bird out. He says, "Where you getting this Jay Bird, man? I'm
Jay Bird,
confused,
baby.
I'm confused. No, I got to hear it. No,
There's
no.
no-
This
there's
is where
no
we.
Jay
This is
in
where we
my
take it
name.
outside the
There's
Twilight
no
Zone.
Jay
We
in
figure out where this Jay Bird's coming from.
Jay Bird out, baby.
Jay Bird. Jay Bird. All right.
All right,
He's
well,
out.
thanks for tuning in.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next week. See you next week. See you next week. See you next week. See you next.